Hello boys and girls. Today I'm going to show you how to make this butterfly using crayon, and I'm going to use colored pencils. I'm actually using watercolor pencils. The Crayola brand. You can pick them up at craft store, or you can use regular colored pencils. You can use crayons. The only thing you absolutely will need is a pencil and a black crayon and something to color with. And of course, a piece of paper. Now to create this butterfly, we need to create symmetry. Reflective symmetry is when something is the same on the opposite side, but reflected. So we're going to do that by taking our sheet of paper and folding it in half. So make the corners meet. Smooth down the edge using your hands. Now I only have to draw half of my butterfly, and then I will show you how we're going to make the other half on the other side. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my butterfly. I'm going to go draw the head right about here. And then, like I said, we only need half, so I'll just draw half of my butterfly's body. I'll draw some little segments because butterfly has different parts. And up to about there. I'm drawing very lightly. Let me press harder so that you can see it. Half a circle, half an oval, and then we'll just do these little half circles here for part of the body. So you want the body to take up about 3/4 of the page. So you start maybe a little bit down, draw the head, continue with the body till you're close to the bottom of the page, but not touching the bottom of the page. And we've completed the body of our butterfly. Next, we're going to work on the wings. So we're going to work on the top half of the wing. In this area here, we want to take up this entire space here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the body, and I'm going to go up to the corner up here, all the way up to the corner. And then I want to finish maybe right around here, maybe a little bit higher right here. So I'm going to go across on this side, and then I'm going to connect these. And I'm going to do that with a wavy line like this one. Now I have to do the bottom half of my wing. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go on this side, and I'm going to come out this way, and maybe I'll do like a wavy line like that. Okay, so you can see there's our butterfly's body. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline in crayon, and I'm going to press very hard with my crayon to get a nice thick layer of black, because this is how we're going to transfer our butterfly. See, you don't want it to be gray. You want to press nice, hard, put a lot of pressure on the crayon. Just like that. To this side. And then we close our paper. And you're going to go over the butterfly that you can just make out in your drawing. Now, when you're doing this, you need to use a pencil. And you need to press a little bit hard. If you're having trouble seeing the butterfly through the paper, you can also hold it up to a window. Put your paper on the window, and the light will shine through, which will make it possible for you to see where your lines are for your butterfly. You can also use a ballpoint pen for this. It doesn't have to be an actual pencil because now we're going to have a drawing on half of our work. It's nice and hard. I think I missed that line there. Go in. Okay, let's see if it worked. We have a butterfly. Now we're going to take our crayon and we're going to go back over those lines so that this half really matches the other half and it has reflective symmetry. Now I am doing a rainbow monarch butterfly. So, in order to do that, I have to add some other details. Around the edge of my butterfly, we're going to have some spots. We're going to go like this. I'll make this one a little bit different. And then I have to make some shapes. Just like this. Segment my butterfly's body. Like this. Maybe I'll add some more. Separate these a little bit. Add some shapes like that. There we go. We're just separating it so that it looks more like a monarch butterfly. There we go. And then I have to do the same thing at the bottom over here. Some lines, separating my parts of my wing. And there you go. Now all we have to do is go over this with our crayon. If your crayon is losing its point, one trick is to take a hand sharpener. If you have a hand sharpener, it should have a bigger hole for bigger pencils. That's the one that the crayon will fit into. And you can actually sharpen your crayon to get a little bit of a point back. You don't want to make it too pointy because it's just going to break. So that's good. Continue outlining all my pencil lines with a black crayon, pressing firmly so that it's dark and it will transfer easily. Butterfly's body is going to be mostly black, but I will add some designs on it. There we go. Go over these lines. All done, you're going to do the same thing you did before. You're going to close your butterfly back up and go over those lines with something that's a little bit pointy. Like I said, you can use a ballpoint pen or you can use a pencil like I did. Okay, I am back and I have finished transferring all of my design with pencil and then going over it with crayon. Now it's time for the fun part, to color. You can use crayon, colored pencils. If you have a set of watercolor, pull them out. You can try those as well. You can use anything that you want to use in order to apply the color to your butterfly. I did a rainbow pattern in this example. I thought of the colors of the rainbow and I went from red to orange to yellow to green to blue to violet. You can do that, or you can just make up whatever color butterfly you want. I think I'm going to do a similar idea. I think I'm going to use more pinks and purples for this butterfly. What I'm going to do is when I'm applying the color, I'm coloring with colored pencil, like I said, I'm going to press hard where I want the color to be brighter, and then ease the pressure where I want it to be lighter. And I'm going to try to go from one color to another with my colored pencils. So I think I'm thinking what I'll do is magenta to purple to blue to green, and then I might just stop there. And for this butterfly, I started with reds at the bottom and worked my way up to violet. So for this one, I think I'll work the outside edge magenta and work into the center with different colors just to do something different. Now, I am going to time lapse this so that you don't have to watch me color this whole thing, but I wanted to draw attention to the fact that when I want my colors darker again, I press harder with the colored pencil. And when I press lighter, it's going to make it lighter. So if you're doing that with crayon, or you're doing that with colored pencil, or you're doing that with watercolor, anything that's a drawing medium, it's actually the pressure that you put on the pencil. If it's watercolor, then it's just the darkness of the color. You don't have to press hard. Now, the last thing before I go into time lapse is what you do on one side, you have to do on the other side. That's because we are practicing our reflective symmetry, and we want our butterfly to be symmetrical. So if I do it on this side, I'm going to try to do the same thing on the other side. Finally finished with my coloring. As I said, if you want to just leave it as a colored pencil drawing or a crayon drawing, then you're done and it's beautiful. If you're like me and you happen to use watercolor pencils, you can now paint it. When you're painting, one thing about watercolor that many people don't know is that the less water you use, the more control you have over your color and over your picture. So I'm going to start in the center in the yellow because that's the lightest color. And I'm just going to wet all of the yellow parts of my butterfly. I don't want to do everything all at once because then it's all just going to be a mess and everything's going to just be muddy. I'm going to wet my brush. I blot a little bit of the water off because I don't want too much water. And I'm going to go into the green area. You can see how much brighter the colors are with these watercolor pencils. It is a lot of fun to use, so if you get a chance and you're ever at the craft store, I pick up a set just to play with them. Okay. And then I'm going to go into the blue-green area. Blend that in a little bit. And remember, what you do on one side, you do on the other as well. You never want to have a puddle of water on your artwork because then you have no control over where the colors go. Okay. Bigger areas, you can use a little bit more water. You don't want too little water. And you can see kind of, because it's colored pencil, it's watercolor pencil, I kind of am going around in a circular motion. Just to kind of make sure I get rid of the pencil lines as I do this. Okay, now I'm in the purple section. Applying the color just like that. So now it looks like a watercolor and not a colored pencil drawing. Now my favorite part of this actually is this magenta color. So I'm just going to continue with the water into that bright magenta pink color. If you have a line like this, just use a little bit of water right at the edge there and kind of blend it out. But don't go over your paper too much, because unless you're actually using watercolor paper, it could rip the paper. So I'm just going to be very gentle with the paper. So one side is done. Try not to get my arm in the way of the camera here. And you can see how I went one color at a time, taking my time. Now the last color that I did was the black. In my other example, I actually colored the black with crayon. So you can do that, that's easy and it keeps it safe. This time I just wanted to experiment a little bit. So I used a black watercolor pencil. So I'm being careful not to get my water in the black section yet because I don't want black in my color, okay? Because I outlined everything with crayon, it does create a resist, it's called. It's a barrier that protects the rest of the colors. It keeps the watercolor area in one place without making it move around too much. My artwork is complete. Don't forget your artist's signature. And have a wonderful day. I can't wait to see what you complete.